Abusia Joba Aba TV soon ye dwumadie no Joba train but money subscribe like na share dwumadie no efa emmame. Enrada ena mampani abediachi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia okoko ne rally bi na oka ne nsem efa ne vision a ewo nani so meche ani so adehunu a ono ewo nani so efa 2024 se ye to abanma no na obeye mampani a de obeye de aboa oman Ghana na nani so adehunu mu no oka se ono no oye vice president na te say de oye driver's mate nti na ono obeje mantle no oye president dia na ono ankasa abeye chief driver na ankasa sa brand dru ha onim kwa befa so obebu man ni ye pa enu nti ni kasa ye mu no osan so ekan bia mu se eye levy any emission levy any taxa eda bet so any tax ne hodo no bedudo na oba obeyi afri honum sansem ya eye mampani abede achire ekan ye yenkotie bi emra.
Ladies and gentlemen, as vice president, I am like a driver's mate. But by the grace of God, if you make me the president, I will be in the driver's seat with constitutional. I will be in the driver's seat with constitutionally mandated authority to pursue my vision and my priorities. So what do I want to do in terms of vision and priorities and policies if you give me the opportunity by the grace of God to become president of the Republic of Ghana?
Abusia, and in some way, ena mampani abedi achire Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekaye. Na owie ya nensam na kwatwetwe nsem bebredi aba. Ne nyina ene se, vim lady so odwene ho awonte ase esan se. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia okana na dan Akuffo Addo amemo ne hu bi. Una ye vice president enti se intifu ni wa kasa pejafo ho na ohene a otena fie ema asefo afo no. Je se enya kura ananse ohene otena fie ema mofra ewe nanka no. Yebu nankawefo a oka hu bi na otena wa ema mampani na dan Akuffo Addo. Etimi ayesa nyema we nyina na newu ba be ka se oba ubeyi tax afri ho ubeyi levy afri wa na chese obuapa na de wo ye ni nyina na eche se waheda ena opese asa otutu mfutro edigu Ghana fo eni enti abusua yenkotie eye vim lady ensam no emra.
And you see, you can tell about me person or use sadie way to say that I am not Nanado. Although you can still see the equity because Bawumia started here no. Now a lot of Niama or coming in as we running 24 hours. Digitization 24 hours. Passport office ASA where you send this 24 hours. Yeah, wait 24 hours. Those ones you could tell is directed at Bahama. But it's not surprising. This is the style that has been the style between Bawumia and Mahama all the way from 2012. 2016, FPC 2020, it has always been on a way incompetent. And I'm a man to me, and I say it has always been that. So I'm not surprised about the initial one. No? And they said, yeah, as open Mahama Kuti, say, yeah, 24 hours. So, but then the key things are a complete breakaway from President Akuffo Addo position, which is what the Bawumia can say electricity now, more the VAT. Bawumia say, on only vision you be here for. That's a complete departure from the Nanado one. I think that Sanyama way or Kayena, for instance, he spoke about Minerals Bank, Minerals Development Bank, which is something different. It has never been mentioned under President Akuffo Addo. Again, that is something that I feel that Bawumia Peswok to show that he's different from Nanado. Because you said, over all these years, accusation back on NDC for Bawumia and so on and so on Nanado. When I am vice president, when I am chairman of economic management team, indeed, there are not mistakes be your mistake. But you can see it, all these things are Bawumia cannot. Of a sort, I am different. Perhaps Bawumia person dictionary say that no can offer and another a buying or two electricity no his hand was not in it. Would it see any can you papa see? On only time a VAT on electricity will be removed. By construction, I mean, how I deduce it is that Baomia person chere say VAT no ananado abandi to electricity no cross on Baomia on they get. This is what Baomia Crawford has been saying from beginning. Say, and you might be Koso MPP Abemwa headed by Nanado Baomiano and only Yadi, but politically, no. Politically, who say Baomia cannot come out and say that new Abai Yadi. Because if you look at even Mahama, Atamel Sabai, a lot of the things that went on in Atamel Sabai, at that time, Mahama was vice president and head of economic management team. But Mahama was not aware. I can tell you for a fact. Busa Kokwa, will tell you for a fact that under Atamel's government, there were so many things Mahama didn't know. They did not make him party to it. And the politics now be and I say, but the truth of the matter is, President Otiakonya so why you vice president sabotage. I mean, the history of Ghana under Rawlings, we saw an attack but under Rawlings, there was a vice president called Nkensin Aka. He disagreed so vehemently with the President Rawlings at the time, to the extent of why not to tell Mahama vice presidential position be. And I want to say he came out openly to disagree with Rawlings at a time when everybody was scared of Rawlings. And what did he get? According to Anwar Aka, we don't know if it is true, but according to Aka, there were occasions when his disagreement with Rawlings even meant Yamahando and Kaka, ABC and Bona, so I was not in cabinet, but these are reports. Obia when you kakre bia or 40 and 40. On him said these are reports that we all heard at the time, yes, but we heard it. Say, I can't say Rawlings and Botasum almost here so his shoulder, ABC and Bono. So Baomia by this is trying to say that Esnome and Esnom Nanado. Nanado near more yani bebreno may agree, but politics in Tino. Me to me, my bonte because of the kind of politically suicidal, ABC that. Now, even Mahama and Atamos could not openly disagree with him. A lot of the things here, journalists, funny, I didn't hear him say. The other person, even Kokumu team, no, we're fighting Mahama. But some of me will come and say some things. If you, but on him said there was a big gap between the Mahama vice president and his team and Atamos and his team. To the extent that no more Mahama and Popo and so that is just to show you what Baomia was trying to communicate. Then Baomia said that jobs, national service, clearly again, that is one thing about Baomia person on the say. So me and so Nanado or see national service optional says or no optional, which is that by force of national service. Say who university now a Juma by force of national service. And he says according to his vision, this is how media attract employers. Na employers about because approach America and UK school for the school there job first was school and the education for the workers but according to Baomia in strategy national service in company be bring person be fan for because himself be national service anyway. Again, this is something that he says that making national service optional is also to show you say Esnome and Esnon Nanado. His team has really worked to the team normal game by him. Make the other part, no, but I think you see, Brofuse the Ghana yati diao. Brofuse very juicy policies. Any other so say see about Baomia, you know, it is incumbent on Baomia team say, persuasive. No man can't Ghana for not to Ghana for dream. Say yes, indeed, we are here to do the job, and we are here to persuade you. Say we can do the job. Because Monday they can send me Chelsea. I normal. I said I'm going to be upon the second time and I know why he. Before was a problem. No, say so. I'm baby. Incumbent case over America. Joe Biden. No, what you know, sir? Incumbent case. Ebi yellow. Ebi never see MPP before. No, so now I was so me double the way to convince Ghana voters from my because jobs be anywhere. And some of the things about me, I can't. Galamsey, I say me. Osha 2016 in 2020. Galamsey was a key issue. Before lose most of the Galamsey areas. Baomia say, Omoba, Omodi Galamsey Krabeka TV, no, I'm certificate. Now, what they will do is abandon wines, no wines now, Omotum go there now. Omo say, abandon, no magic. Now, the Ama Galamsey for no man regulated into TV, quality skills now, and human certificate. Now, they are no, Omo abandoned mines, galamsey for na mo ma ye adwuma as a way to regulate them again. This is something that is completely opposite the Akuffo Addo aka. Over the years Akuffo Addo ba e nyina nka we bi da. Again Paumia one person or the and also say I am different from Akuffo Addo. That's what he wants to show. I am different from Akuffo Addo. That's one of the things that Paumia wants to show. You can see any team no. Some and that Mahama didn't go for Baumia chisa, and I think that is why opposition strong is good. When an opposition is effective, they force you to think. And you can see Aduma about Yanko for you say they've been thinking. They've been thinking, Mahama for now or more a run for their money. And this 2024 elections, it will be good, but it's also going to be based on ideas. This is young voters refuse to listen to these things here on Moking. Because a lot of the things about Miaka, I felt like he's talking about a lot of ordinary voters' heads. And everybody bro, so because digitization, everybody baby, and I thought baby, what then he saw kind of baby because he focus on the things that make you unique, which is the now national service there, okay, gold for a year, first gold for oil, no. And I've now come to understand it kind of a little bit more than usually. Now party communicators they were all not explaining it well because according to Baomiano, we gold for oil as a way to stem city exchange rate, because it's an exchange rate. Baomia had a background on NDC for facing. NDC would never stop talking about city exchange rate because on one Baomia so the city exchange rate will boil this so now because NDC lose 2016 and one of the things some NDC lose 2016 is city exchange rate. And the NDC no surprising. I know my NDC for so I'm Bob Baomia manatete. Say masa the city has exposed you. And one of the things that Baumia is saying is in order to ensure say dollar no ko abrochire bebre na emfa pressure and to Ghana see the exchange rate to suntino send ye dollar be kwakoto crude oil no ye gold no mom ebeto now see almost starting to omo ya kakra no so far gold o matimi anya 2.79 which is almost $3 billion ya kwaje ne IMF and look at conditionalities IMF for the maye meanwhile na say can be a more at Ghana just because a conquer for bottom. Again, this is also to show you about me because what you being checked. Okay, no friata. Tieni pa. Baby, I didn't cause so. But me so what you say what being checked no friata. Because if gold for crude oil, now we can be able to retain dollar. Nanka first one. Again, gold never go to dollar never kebeko. But because he retaining gold, we have been able to hold gold reserves. I'll say 26,000 tons, 26 tons on Bank of Ghana. What did they come to Bekanwa? Total, we have 2.79, which is almost 3 billion here for Jibilo. And he said, and he even emphasizes, say, starting gold for oil, than Ghana. Your gold reserve, your Bewano, a chain on him, Queen Elizabeth. Now, no, before Queen Elizabeth, gold reserve, British gold reserve, the whole room, and your room for rooms, gold and Ghana, your gold coast, here you go to betting cry. So I say, and no more building again. I mean, to say, Baumia Pasoches, I know I've been chill for that. He's different from Nanado. And to me, and that is something a homeworker that I say, Baumia homework back on. No, he needs to prove to Ghana for say he's different from Akuffo Addo. And yes, sir, Akuffo Addo failure to fight corruption. Man, they say me catch him say a ban of corruption. Kwandia Akuffo Addo share them fighting. No, said the Ghana for your pete and go fight corruption. No, he hasn't fought it as much as we want him to fight corruption.
Obi ya pe ena okatachi every mensa ono so ye host for Angel in the Morning. Ono so e twa na adwe no chirim say. So we event na se kwempa utimi hu sananda na Addo danko Akuffo Addo na nkasa no wa ma ho na jese ma papa no asem na Dr. Mahmood Bawumia ba be ka no e ya ade a ahye ne ye pa esan se atwi no e che so no nyina na mubu man no mone eye kenofulata mu nyina ene general secretary mu nyina mu na mubu man yi ena mu hye ho nema ene penifo parliament nyina na ka bo mu ena mo de sa eye taxes yi beto yeti so na ne wo ba aba be ye campaign ana so the manifesto ana wo be rally na so be ka sa wo ba tax ahodo na wo be ye free ho de a na che se wa nkasa no opan na wudi na chi no wabu ne sabi eno de mintimi emfa nto aso katachi afrifa yenkotie emra
Yamra eyeho. Nantimu say ya and mabesi abri. Abri eye to butu nanu wonwa na me dia fro be pon wa yarfa ye fam fromra. Basadai. Adanya dia mebe kan wo wadwene na mebe kan wo. But yedine tie. Eno Dr. Baba Baumia ade ensem atudwa. Now I am going to pass comment on one and some no ditudwa no. And two, the people's mind near draw conclusion. So we will present the fact as they are. You present the fact in you are. You applying it to logic. Now Ghana for your jam say mo amun take good decision. No, we are going to apply the facts to logic. You got that say? Woman ye emotional characters crowd do. Ye too gobi ye too emotional. I woman Ghana ye emotional characters. I ye the emotions ne bibia. Yeah. We don't sieve through you know. We don't sieve through a year logic. Exactly. Na dey when him so kwa ma wo do bi so logic na ye ade a ye sua wo. Sa pepepe. Ye sua. It be non-verbal communication. Sure. Akola wadi 9 years go UK. Ye train in non-verbal communication because ye person wadwini processing nyoma more deeper. Exactly. Na ni baby ati ya say wadwini to me processing nyoma. Na wakoma ne di akire ye wadwini di agrosa. Freedom. I. You get emotional. Naturally, me emotional character, but I needed to study logic. Na ye there some two social some no ni funny benkum bebia. Precisely. Now boy chire ansana. No ye boy chire. Na ye dia mebeka no pay. Yentie Mahamadu Bawumia nsem wo kan wo say de di kan wo ba E-levy waba enkofo sie na wo kan wo de ye beba be analyze ye no sir. But the commentary amate about Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia enro me papa ba ko frɛ me enyimra kaje wo papa wo boda mana na me say adai me say wo ka sa mo frɛ no ko na ese mo frɛ no ka bie ayi wo de fa de ndibra na me tworo ma wo I want to be can agree. Say we no. On say democracy no die wo mu ne say wo bi eka bibi na wo so aka bibi we anya atem didie ana anya hwe na wo so waka bi na ye ka bi ma men ka bi na no kura wo mboa wo ye kromfo di no mo de ko share ho say democracy means ka bi na men ka bi ana abeda ne kasa nko democracy nya ka bi na men ka bi sure ka bi ma men ka bi which is freedom of speech you know a subset of democracy. Exactly. Democracy the one a manyo sem de dikan and wo man yo. It is a way your politics as a way your governance can home. Yeah, governance at all. Yeah, politics. What is the difference? There is a clear difference between politics and governance. There is a clear difference. Exactly. Ye nya to abawie ya ne asa sha abato no ehun komodie ase America fo nya to abawie ne akwakoda na afa di aka ye development which is the governing of the nation emra no eye adwuma that is a yet government precisely ye de ne bi the next election starts from the very first day I will be lusu eye na election no enti wo sa ban no wo ye de eye so wo ye de anya ye be politics sa enti wo man no eno na go bi de bo nyom se wo man no de ekọ no ayehu it is we don't do governance in this country. Exactly. We do politics. And I'm saying there's a clear difference between politics and governance. We have 10. A China, they were looking at a radio station, TV station, and what China, one more subject, one more treaty, who do China, one more radio TV station, they discuss about 90% a year governance and development. Freedom. Then 5% politics, because I want more politics and more development. And as a politics, a democracy, say, kabi, namen kabi. ana ye bi na menya bi ne de agya yo
Sa pepepe.
yaban no ye na ye oman no ye if say eye aman nyosem oman no yo ana ye eti how to weave a nation wo kire wo man sa na ye no ye de ye agya wo man kire na to ana be ye political parties eti ye be hwe eye democracy in the subset of eye kabi na men kabi na ye bi menya bi yenyi yenhyase yemfa ye bi na menya bi nso nka ho enya ka mama ka bi gwa na aye o ida bia ropa ne ye ka bi eti omo se ye fra bibi eye human right no so wo mkofa human right ba ye no the Soviet Union and the Chinese people wo so wo human right omo understanding of human right is different
Freedom.
Ana Britain fo ne hwan fo no so ba ye wo so understanding of human right is different.
Exactly.
I senior Chris, you are not making sense. Watch around and see the leader who practice governance in this fourth. Senior Chris, that's a kumoenwa na minudi. Now, the idea me make sense to you. Ne say, nye bibia na wobiti say woni betimi ya comprehending them. It's a wide na program say etie nyoma watra.
Exactly.
Etie nyoma emmon nyoma nachi. Eti dia make hete wadwene a asema e kan kwasese but enye bibia na utimi ti ase because it's not meant for your head to understand.
Exactly.
Wonza gobobo wa mene wo mo dwene deep ana di nkomo wonza we gobobo wa above you senior Chris nemo no me sure say we be a student of this program na usua dia no pa wi anwumre no you begin to emancipate your mind. Welcome home. You are going to be a student of reasoning.
Exactly.
Yeah, people who say manage your home. Because there's some tete wa gwen na mo wa ho na me become ho. And you are going to be my student, Chris. Oh yes. Chris is my student.
Freedom.
Student of reasoning. And your emotions. Now the other can young Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. The arguments I've heard ne say Dr. Muhammad Bawumia so oba wo betwa 11. And I love you when you want to buy the buy and the fire here. Young constitution. Constitution is there shall be an executive power which shall be vested in the president. And will be Musa said, Dear Tina Akufo ama baby, Dr. Bawumia ye no. E Dear Tina Akufo ama ho. Mumia Musa said, Dear Tina Akufo ama ho. If said Dr. Muhammad Bawumia and a chidini. Now we're launching the campaign. Dr. President Akuffo must be there.
Exactly.
Why was he not there?
Precisely.
Is he angry? Nebu afuana. Nebu na afuni ya. Then the argument people advance is that, and Dr. Muhammad Bawumia said, when Akuffo nyadwin wo 11 na esen kwa resign dada. But what kind of logic is this? When you are part of a government, now when the government ne nyadwin. Now we are going to say you go head to head with the government. When everybody knows what government means, abain, if we are saying they na abain timi nyano so best some be ma abo ba, no ase oba ko be ma na kuom timi ye. And government is so powerful say Dr. Muhammad Bawumia ye na dwene so be resign wa go head to head with government come back crash no.
Exactly.
We know they will come at him with every arsenal and they would have made sure say he won't win and yet the MPP flag bearership. And then he has tactically won the MPP flag bearership. Akufo will have no control over him.
Exactly.
And he says that I have a mind of my own. We are not discussing whether or not you walk but that logic say is it not a known fact that Dr. Muhammad Bawumia stated publicly say no e-levy unyaya and compreso one kind of also he doesn't believe that they must be taxed. Nasa wakokachi Akufo say, Mr. President, e-levy I'm a friend. I am the one that has been given executive power and I have the control over. He can only go and sit down. Yanti Kroma nebe known fact say under the mills. Now kwaku anyu do humuni buoma jomama. Is it a known fact?
Exactly.
From the corridors of power, we heard it. I don't know your mama resign.
Sa pepe.
Because to me, dear, wisdom, a tact. Me say, a grofona is a one combative beyond. Because I realize that when you go head to head with government too much, they have the resources.
Exactly.
They have the media. They have the people. They will crush you. So sometimes you must shrewdly. The key word here is shrewdly. Shrewdly approach power. So you will live with them. You don't agree with some of the things they do. But it's not all the time that you become combative. And the Dr. Mamadou Bawumia to me as the flag bearer of the NPP. And now he's saying that one the idea about what he thinks government should be and governance should be. Mommy analyze the work and about the argument is one a buying a yard being SN resign. Now your mama resign under President Mills. President Mills who yet the first time at your mama the podium. Was say I have directed that, I have instructed that, I have directed that, I have the President Mills who the mama because I have directed that, I have instructed that, directed because the executive power was not resting on him.
Exactly.
What let me say?
Sir.
The executive power. Akuffo do near man executive power. And Akuffo do memo kan na we no me say yana me blame nkrofo.
Sir pepe.
Na your mama do obey nyina yakai except that Akuffo do buy wa huru ni fita.
Sir.
Say corruption e dey board your mama and Akuffo do na buy corruption na no odin eti na huru your mama de no so he becomes a lesser of the two evils.
Exactly.
Is it true, Sir Dr. Muhammad, about me a e-levy? That is a conversation we must have. Obi be promises say me ba es gracia me twam. Is it true so bet me es gracia? That is a conversation we must have.
Exactly.
But this conversation about Swani abayin and yadwin esen ko resign for me
it's a no.
Ana nya watem didie na wudie na bema meja de meka no. Wo watem didie ensesa hwe.
Tina internet bi so emma bebi.
Na we kura wo moyi woni akukuduro. We di atrema woni akukuduro. Dr. Mamadou Bawumia you the flag bearer was wo ba. E-levy. Obetwam.
Sa pepe.
Obetwam.
Ono so akire na dwen de.
Wo kire yes e-levy no wo mpe. Ye nyina ya we. Emma me catch them say do baby can for the atana na vice president. Akuffo do won't hear Akuffo do ntiasem won't hear enra de ntia wa ma ayina say sa nneoma ya wo tworo say mu say ye kwa 11 no ye na onya adwire betwam ye wo hwedin at the mama you going to say this in public? Are you going to say this in public? How do you go enu tin wa ma ho no de ntia wa ma ho no And Bawumia want to begin to show that he is a clear man of his own.
Exactly.
Yatukroma na 2000, ye catch a man for say. Professor Mills ba obey a puppet of a JJ Rollins.
Sir.
Now Professor Mills obey a puppet of JJ Rollins. John Mahama Kurana JJ Rollins in the sword and sa and in the bar politics him. When you to me, JJ Rollins was nowhere. Exactly. He was not listening to him.
Freedom.
And for you to think that Obakura wa wono general here ne wonena ha ya nanim so ofiamoy watching a general benye to me me to be in control no.
Exactly.
Nanya Akuffo na ma Akuffo attorney general enya Akuffo na ma Akuffo a minister of foreign affairs and they waka say ma wontie eti we mirakisia yakwa wonu de ndisi strong power me no ka say wo frame to so say ka de je de oge sa mirakisia yakwa me chiawo asante aguna kigiriki me chiawo ensesa we will analyze now say ampanyampa say the logic is that my consider Dr. Mamadou Bawumia because one the boss by and the boss a failure 2012, Obianim say President Mills a co-election and Kobelusu.
Exactly.
Amamwo fu President Mills bebuye.
Freedom.
Na nipa de wo yan kanachira sem.
Precisely.
Wa munyina no munim say President Mills ye ne ko 2012 election and Kobelusu.
Sa pepe.
Etina dodo no akura gidi say ayi ye otimi say nkrofo bi ye say ne ye ni say ana ma ekoye say. Enya sa.
Sa pepe.
Enya sa.
Sa pepe.
But President Mahama bai regardless of the failure of the boss. And Obaba Yebi. One more, Yamani be Yebi. And one more Baba Yebi so Uncle Siaga. Media Kaminya Park or Munino, Yempe Bola B. Nemom see a Pesia selected Bakupa. Dear Yamane is second in command. Now Uncle Siaga. Near man first in command, Uncle Siaga. And the Yaman is second in command, Uncle Siaga. Near Yaman first in command. It is the people to decide. Akuffo na ye.
Sir.
Akuffo na ye.
Why be you?
Why be? Agoya and trigger crack. Why be pa? What just a moment in Trin and Rawama Horo. And Ra, Nebu of Fuse ya say tam. Abakwe, what Akuffo would just because Bawumia want to establish that he is a man of his own. And it's a fact. Now, they did to me, Biena. Now, so where your mistake is, a year or two ago, or you're not just I will come out now. I will say when I become president, I'm going to win a flag bearership. Won't win it. Akuffo, already one thing he doesn't joke with disloyalty.
Exactly.
The entire woman ministers yet home fear bebreno is because the ministers are loyal to him, whether they are performing or they are not performing. He understands how to hold power. He does not understand how to use the power, but he understands. Say when you to me, said yesi kuramunie. Yadem krofo wa mo ajiwudie. Say Kofikinaata akuse so wachina pese mbiye bi say Akuffo. Kofikinaata akutuwe wonim finance ho hwe. Esu se minya to me na pese me bo ho ban padi am Kofikinaata akubeto eye akwaboah style no. Aye. Kobodusi anko school. But we know you're one of the best ministers President Nkrumah have.
Exactly.
Ed Kofikinaata akuse wa anko school. But I dream more Bob and person hold it to me. I will give him power. On MJ. Analyze it. And me, Dr. Baobia has been smart. If indeed Akuffo one in Yagene and you may be home and I yet or keep it quiet. Not one go head to header. That means he's been smart there. Now it's up to us to analyze the things that MPP and NDC are saying. And your man one more canon. 24 way chumberi mebe we said we see aka na no adu enkosi hwe me madwene ni enkosi hwe some meteres wani wa hunu bibi abeka bibi analyze the issues all them je ya analyze the issue no 11 obetimi atwam ontimi ntwam. These are the conversations we must have. And this election that year kono omumu biare bibia to wa we must critically analyze it. Critically. Me madwene ni. Oso ahunu bibia beka bibi. From a year okuma na kropon akuapem. Erikosi Bono FM. Angel FM Takrade. Test FM Kufodua. Western FM Darling FM. Opemu Antwakrum. KFM Techiman. Cheers FM Sunyane. Angel FM Sunyane. OFM Obuase. Angel FM Tamale. Voice Aguna Kwanta Republic. Enkoko.
Abusua ene enu achi no eye chairman esiedu nketia ono so eye chairman de ma NDC chinyaka sia manyekuo no chairman de wasre ha o se enkrofo we mu pa mu yi levi nyam na mo de bai mixing levi anansia mo de beto eye Addo abafo su yi efa entutu a from ka aseba anase musie from ka aseba nyina ne nyina mo amotana se mu se nyeba mo de ba na na o ya abu abom no de o ba na ode o nhye ba no u be ye afiri mu dia na chese de o kan no eye campaign e de ma yen NDC fo na o be ya de ama yen enu nti ya da MPP fo ase ye pa titin Dr. Mahmood Bawumia se o be ye sa campaign e de ma yen NDC fo chairman esiedu enketia yenkotie emra
one time can mama kaya o mantie nyina afedi ase Akuffo Addo kwa na aye no no de ba de mahama kanu bi na oba be eno anti nura no IPS ayi no rally for mahama
eni ese mo anya we de mo kwada daada
enti no we no de ya de prapra kwa mu ye be major response Tunasem no waka.
Eh na de obi na akwa kana sem no so no gise
we are exposed no properly because what the other Uma atrocem ebedi o man no so na wa nkasa bia we are equally guilty for what is happening. In the end e be ko so aka ni have reminded no that atam we ye kuntia yi levy na wo he emission tax ye kan wan sem na wo he VAT on domestic electricity ye kan wan sem na no ya na mo for so ya ti budget ya ma ye nyina ye de ka se de nka ho that time na Baumia no MPC I see support me na o mu ni parliament ho ada na o mu ye antima sa no de on fa medada e kura ada na se mo na MPC fo nyina se se no a o mo timi akoye rally kese sa e de aboa President Mahama
Ntiabusa when somewhere ana reactions are enkrofo e de aba afa rally ana say visioner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Vice President a wasanse Frankantuni e de ma LPP no o de to dwa enra eda Midi e de break to na adjo say wa ampowerful bracket ma menka we say on my taxes and accounting service or say ban of tax won sensema medofo omodi afa bedan no hwe entoto nyina kama emfa emma US abrochimemu ena wo mu ebutuo o se all the tax won sensem ne bedan na dia wonti ase bia dia oti ase na nso pam nkyeremu yie adomosuko no ne nyina ombeje bre na omachecho mu kama sa enso no Boba village and apartment poku ase amam from Ghana ha enkana bopuni mantamu ena oboba ewo eno nti no ope hotel eteso na eboso ope baabi a wo guest ebekwa momoni age anasa busua no weekends du na mpasam kodjojo mo ho a mofa moni nkyeremu ewo oboba ehonom environment na efe yie pa nti ko ho a wani ebeji o ma hye ne ma kama omobo no nso da fom obetima hwe ma o ha obeka eye hotel ho no kwa wonko fi enu ti fa namba no na ene oboba eni enkomo abusua medase bebre makram